We're here for Friday Night Football live from Canada Field, home of the Vancouver Legion, as they host the Sin City Samurai on a cold 34-degree Vancouver night. We welcome you in. My name is Cameron Duty, along with my partner Alex West. It's good to be reunited with you, my friend, and we are glad to have this SFL matchup in front of us. Alex, these two units are no strangers to each other. 4 previous matchups between these two teams, but Sin City has had Vancouver's number in the past, winning the past 3 of the 4 matchups. What does Vancouver have to do to get over the hump and into the win column and continue their undefeated streak this season?
Well, they've definitely got to leverage the fact that they've got some bad blood and they've got home field advantage here. But there's some simple truths about this matchup, and the fact that Vancouver is 4-0 should not be taken as gospel. The fact that they have the most points for and the best, or the second most points for and the most in terms of points allowed, they've only allowed 16, should also not be taken as gospel. Because let me tell you something, Cameron, they ain't played nobody. Sin City has played everyone that is tough. All 3 of their losses are to 4-win teams, so I consider this to be a true battle of 2 titans.
Oh, this is going to be a good one, folks. You're not going to want to go anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. Kickoff brought out across the 30 to the 31-yard line, where Sin City will take over. And we quickly will say hello to quarterback Scar Patterson, the halfbacks Robert Johnson, Logan Lee, the fullback Bill Cherry, the wide receiving core of Israel Adams, Al Dillapre Sr., Bob Lung, Shay Carroll, the tight ends Talon Steele, the tackle Jackson Barito, and Kara Cool, and at guard it's Adam Chance. As we quickly go into this first play from scrimmage, Sin City wearing their all whites. We got Vancouver in that royal blue. 3 receivers lined up to the bottom of your screen as Patterson sets the throw, throws it short, and a short gain of 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up. Hamilton with the stop, Alex.
And honestly, Drew Hamilton is just a great heads-up player. He flies around the field with some of the greatest of ease. Former All-Star back in season 17. He's got over 50 career interceptions at this point. He is quick on the draw.
Toss play, left side running with Robert Johnson, not able to get much stopped. Let's meet this Vancouver defense. The defensive ends, Bobo Caudell and Achilles Papatones. Defensive tackles, Gerald Giudicesi and Michael Rory. The linebackers, Josh Farnsey, DJ Woods, and Marquise Reed. The cornerbacks, Emmanuel Blackman. We'll pause there for this play on 3rd down. It's complete across the middle. Good job by Sin City and Israel Adams to pick that one up. 1st and 10. We'll get back to the lineup in a minute, but Alex, give us your thoughts here.
Honestly, there's only so long that you can keep down Israel Adams, and man-to-man coverage one-on-one whenever he's got the opportunity to run an inside post route on the seam is not how you stop him at all. It's how you give him easy catches and lots of yards after the catch.
1st and 10 for the Samurai. Approaching midfield and on the ground once more with Johnson. Spins out of a tackle. Pretty move there. Gain of 3. I'll finish quickly here with the Vancouver defense with the cornerbacks Emmanuel Blackman, Michael Lister, and Ron Hoff, and the safeties Jack Russell, Drew Hamilton, as you mentioned, Alex, and Mark Lopez. 2nd and 7 coming up. Sin City looking good to start. Another screen pass out of the backfield. This one is caught by Logan Lee, who reception-wise has 5 coming into today's game. Looking to get him utilized in the backfield for sure.
A big-time weapon for this Samurai offense. A 3-time All-Star, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. Of course they're going to get him involved. An absolute menace.
Past the 40-yard line here in enemy territory for the Sin City Samurai. First drive of the evening. It a handoff. Johnson with room to run, shakes a tackle, and a big 9-yard gain on 1st down. That's what you like to see. Setting the tone early here is Sin City.
Absolutely smash mouth football so far. A little bit of misdirection, but they're relying heavily on their running backs to actually make things happen. But that is what actually set up the easy completion for Israel Adams earlier. They have so many options here.
1 yard to gain here on 2nd down. And Not going to get it. A good job, good penetration up front by Vancouver. And Hoff coming up with the tackle.
The Legion really flowing to the football there and rallying to the front, as it were. That's incredible response time from the secondary to get downhill in a hurry.
Faced again with a 3rd and 1. They keep it on the ground, and this time, oh, it's a fight.
Oh!
And they're going to say that Bill Cherry was able to get the first down. We'll see if there's any challenge.
I don't know.
Here we go. Up to the line goes Patterson. No challenge flag yet. And the play will stand with the snap here. And it does. Patterson on first down, throwing incomplete. Jarred loose. It was intended for Talon Steele, and a good defensive play picked up by Jack Russell, the strong safety.
And honestly, Jack Russell there is an incredible asset for this squad with how he's able to lay the wood, but also make these kinds of clutch pass deflections. And he already has 2 interceptions this season. He's a real threat.
So after that incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 on the 29-yard line. Patterson throwing a dart. Oh, and a nice job of adjusting his body and retrieving that one is Talon Steele, going back to the big man.
Talon Steele, honestly, one of the best tight ends in the game right now that's not named you-know-who over in D.C. He has this ability and this control of himself in his frame. He's 6'7", he's 263, but I swear, he must do ballet or something in his off seasons because he's just too agile.
Starting tonight, Scar Patterson 4 of 5 for 39 yards. A good start for this Sin City offense. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Top side here, they flip it to Johnson running right. He gets 4, and 2nd and 6 will be on the way.
Johnson being the bell cow back here so far tonight. He's gotten the majority of the touches here. Only, 1 carry for Logan Lee?
Yeah, kind of a surprise starting out. We've seen Lee with that 1 carry, and there's his 2nd. Oh, got pushed back, and then he gets a little help pushed forward there. 3rd and 2 coming up here as a fast-moving first quarter as well, Alex. Almost halfway through on this single drive.
Indeed, and we'll see exactly what happens in the end, but this punishing ground game is decisive.
Patterson throwing short and low, but it is picked up. A good job of adjusting by number 17, Al Dillapre Sr., the 11-season man, 6th season here in Sin City.
And they're doing a nickel and dime offense here, cutting you down to size. Death by 1,000 cuts, worthy of the samurai.
Halfway through this first quarter. Red zone territory, goal line territory here. 1st and goal for Sin City. Throwing out of the backfield. That screen pass. Johnson will not be denied. Touchdown, Sin City Samurai. Robert Johnson, who had a busy drive, Alex. He gets it into pay dirt.
Absolutely dominant on this drive was Johnson himself, both on the ground and with a couple of clutch catches, this second one wrapping it up. But honestly, it's also credit to Scar Patterson, who is 6 of 7 on this drive for 48 yards. He's just been extremely incisive with where he's been firing that football in there. It's been impressive to watch.
Drew Hamilton, listen to this. Drew Hamilton had 6 tackles on that drive alone. Woo. A busy man, as the extra point is good by rookie Charles Franz. And another thing for Sin City here that we'll talk about, red zone scoring coming in. Pretty good in that respect. They have had 3 trips to the red zone. Coming in, of course, 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal. So they are good to get touchdowns when they get down to the red zone. Chalk another one up in that column as well. So we start here for Vancouver, their first drive of the game, halfway through this first quarter. Good return here, brought out to the 24-yard line.
And that is a big kick by rookie Charles Franz. A big leg on that guy. No wonder he got picked at number 5.
Absolutely. Now, for Vancouver, we all know about this Legion coming in undefeated 4-0. Top-ranked offense in many categories: points per game, yards per game, rushing touchdowns. led by Christian Brown, the quarterback, throwing over the middle, incomplete. Good job on the defense that time. Let's say hello to their Vancouver offense. Quarterback Christian Brown, as we mentioned, number 4. The halfback Ike McBride, the fullback Pseudo Nakai, and Mateo Privado. Wide receivers Nick Lockett, Brett Killian, Ezekiel Bear, and Lily Nakai. The tight ends Sharona Privado and John Michael Suddeth. The tackles Gregory Wynell and Leo Chang and Rylan Caudill. The guard Mango Moody, and the center Brunter Grayjam. Man in motion, Lily Nakai to the top of the screen on 2nd and 10. Brown, pressure, and he somehow escapes, and he's Nick Lockett down there around midfield, and as has become the popular norm, a phrase in pop culture, just chuck it up, throw it down there. Somebody's going to be down there. It's Nick Lockett in this case.
And what a dangerous pass it was. The safety was there trying to make a play on the football there, but it's just a little bit out of position and not able to get there in time to snag that one from the sky. And big gain, Vancouver.
How about Christian Brown? He said Nick will be down there, and he was. Now stepping up, Brown going to run. Instead of going for the graceful slide, he decides to put his shoulders and helmet first and get a gain of 4 here.
I don't know if that's worth it. You don't want to be taking those kinds of shots. Now he's going to be a little bit sore as he has to shake that one off. But hey, Christian Brown's has a great season so far.
Good stats coming into this game for Brown. The handoff now, this backfield, Mateo Privado, Pseudo Nakai, Ike McBride. You've seen Privado with the carry right there. Not much going, but combine this rushing attack, including Christian Brown with 3 rushing touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns so far this season. That's incredible.
It really is. And what's extra funny about it is that the Christian Brown has 4th in terms of total yards on the season, but he only has 5 touchdowns. Now, granted, he only has 3 interceptions too, so he's being very efficient.
But a big 3rd and 6 coming here for Vancouver. Pressure coming. It's picked up nicely. Brown throwing. Nobody was home. Incomplete. Looked like he may have had Lily Nakai in the vicinity, but throws it a little too far ahead, and that will bring out a chance to win the punt.
And I tell you what, that one's just like my worst nightmare of a hot dog. Just entirely too much mustard. You got to have a little bit on the side. You got to leave room for the onions too, guys.
A little bit of relish to sweeten things up as well. Let's not forget that. Now I'm hungry.
I go with chili.
Yeah. Fair catch called for at the 12-yard line for Sin City. Cameron Duty here with Alex West. We had an all-star crew, let me tell you. Ike McBride and Jacob Clear in the stats truck, and, of course, Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. And we are excited. Go right ahead, Alex.
I have to say, reunited, and it feels so good.
Indeed, 3:01 here in this first quarter. 12-yard line is where Sin City will start. We'll try not to subject you to too much of our singing, but we are in a musical mood tonight. Toss play, left side, Johnson. Oh, he shakes the tackle, and you know what? He almost got free there if it hadn't been for Reed coming up last minute to make the stop.
Marquise Reed, though, with the incredible pursuit to the football and absolutely rewarded for his persistence by getting to lay the wood.
2nd and 9, 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen to the right of Scar Patterson. Throwing, almost intercepted. Oh, and he had a couple of chances at it. Although it's a good defensive effort for Emmanuel Blackman. A good job deflecting that one away.
And it feels like the appropriate thing to do on 2nd and 9 because it's like, okay, if you're going to run the football, you're going to have to count on a big run here. But they are honestly keying into the fact that the pass is what Sin City wants to do.
3rd and 9 coming up. Rolling out is Patterson to throw, and incomplete. The Vancouver defense absolutely did its job that time.
For sure. But honestly, this is something that I think is possible whenever you think about what Sin City's game plan is looking like. And it's a reflective of what commentary I got from their head coach. It said that traditionally Sin City has been a run and defense-based team, but last game proved you can't overlook our big play ability. Whether it's the deep pass, interceptions, or whatever it takes to win, we will find a way as a team of Samurai Warriors.
Good kick by Franz, and it is fair caught by Lee leading Akai. I seen a great pun there. Joshua Durr said, we're going to rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Crank up the 80s karaoke.
Oh,
First
yeah.
and 10 on the 45-yard line for Vancouver. Great field position for the Legion here. 2:19 remaining in this first. Christian Brown rolling out and throwing to Nick Lockett looking his way again. Touchdown Vancouver, and they draw even with the extra point to Sin City.
Disaster strikes for Sin City as the safety gambles, trying to make a big play interception here, and instead when your background safety valve suddenly comes forward to make the play and misses like that, it's nothing but green grass and high tides forever.
Bo Martin Jr. was the strong safety there who went for that interception just a little bit early, and you can see how that spelled Trouble for the Sin City defense. And the extra point by chance to win is good, and we are all knotted up at 7 apiece, Alec.
Oh, and this is exactly what I was hoping we were going to be in for tonight, Cam. This is promising to be a barn burner early. Let's just hope we get more of it. Fireworks aplenty, please.
So far, so good. All tied up at 7 with about 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Sin City will get the ball back. And a good return coming out by Carroll here to the 29-yard line. And again, that's kind of one of those things, as obviously you'll go over to the sideline, the defensive unit will talk about it, they'll try to regroup, get things better. Now, for Sin City here, back out onto the field quickly, not much time to rest between possessions, and they're going to get right back to it here. The receivers at the bottom of the screen for Patterson, throwing deep, and what a grab! Over top 2 defenders was Delapre.
And they are going to be challenging this secondary all night, it feels like. Vancouver has got to be grateful that they have 3 cornerbacks and 3 safeties on this roster, so they can have one of their safeties masquerade as a corner in these dime fronts. You need as many talented, fast wheels as you can out there to cover these incredible receiving core.
Incredible job of Delapre high-pointing that football and coming down with it. And a good carry. Go ahead, Alex.
I thought that was a TFL. Logan Lee got met before he even crossed the line of scrimmage, but still managed to put his shoulder into Josh Farnsey and carry all 270 pounds forward 4 yards. What?
Yeah, impressive indeed. Gain of 3. We'll see if they can do it again. This time the Vancouver defense a little more stout, with DJ Woods able to lock down on that tackle, and it's 3rd and 7.
Obvious passing situation here, but what do? You try and get 3 receivers and a tight end? Do you try and mix in a swing pass? Ooh,
kind of what I'm thinking.
Left.
Yeah, there we go. 3 receivers to the top, rolling right. Scar Patterson throws in triple coverage. Again, able to come down with it. That's Bob Lung.
Utterly fearless tonight is Scar Patterson. Eyes like a hawk, arm like a bow drawn to fire arrows deep into the hearts of his enemies. Look at him rifle that one in there.
Channeling the heart of your inner warrior there with that commentary. Very good, my friend. Great job indeed. 1st and 10 coming up. Good description on that one. Half a minute to go in this first quarter. We thank you all for hanging out with us on this Friday evening. Shea Carroll goes in motion to the left side. Patterson now, pressure coming, and you talk about being obliterated. Bobo Caudill said, meet the turf, Patterson, loss of 5.
I felt that one from the booth. The shockwave rattled the glass window panes. Mama, how did he get that free? The swim move makes him practically untouched.
And a beautiful defensive play indeed. Could it derail this drive? We will see, folks, here at the end of quarter number 1. And we've got us a good one here in Vancouver. You are watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Camera duty here with Alex West, Mike McBride, and Jacob Clear on stats, and Cameron Irvine at SFL HQ. And we are glad to have you. After a huge sack on Scar Patterson.
You know he's glad the quarter break happened there so he could rub that one off.
He's going to have a little bit of time to regroup, and he does so beautifully with Israel Adams threading the needle there and getting the first down. And that's how you respond to a big defensive play. You take it right away from him.
Amen to that. They got him to the sideline after the quarter break, got him some water. He rubbed some dirt on it, and now he's just fine, ready to play some more football.
Sometimes you hit those quarterbacks, man, you light a fire in them, don't you? I mean,
it
you really
gets
do.
personal. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. They get angry.
Well, it's working to Patterson's advantage for the moment. Again, right here, this defensive line, though, no joke, folks, doing a good job stuffing the line. That time, we're going to give credit to Josh Farnsey for that tackle. Nowhere to go for Rojo.
This front seven is doing such a great job of clogging all the gaps, A, B, and C. It's not that easy to stop that many running lanes.
A, B, and C is not as easy as 1, 2, 3 in that case. Right side, Robert Johnson. He gets 5, and a big 3rd and 5 coming up here, and Johnson there, a little slow to get up. He did take a hit.
It does relieve the mind to know that Logan Lee is behind him. And let's just say how funny that is that Robert Johnson's the bell cow back, but the 3-time All-Star is the backup back here in tonight's playbook.
Patterson, and as he throws, they're going to call that an incompletion. And again, that Vancouver defense gets home, and that is going to bring on Charles Franz, we would expect, for a field goal attempt, a 34-yard field goal here.
Danger from the left and the right, and it's just a miracle that Scar Patterson is able to get that away rather than getting sacked.
The snap, the hold is good, and so is this kick. Sin City retakes the lead after a good kick by the rookie Franz, a 10-play, 53-yard drive. And this is everything we hoped that this game would be up to this point. You're exactly right, Alex. This is what we wanted. Back and forth down the field. Big hits, but also big plays. We're getting all that tonight.
I couldn't ask for anything more so far. I just hope that the competitive nature of it holds because, oh, mama, this is already shaping up to be one of the better games I've called this season.
And Lockett will take this in the end zone for the kneel down. Yeah, coming out.
How far is he kick? No, I've got to see. Hang on. 50 yards. He's a rookie and he's already booted a 50-yarder. What?
Exceeding expectations beyond years. Fantastic job right there by Charles Franz. Yeah, 5'11", 180 pounds. A first-round pick, 5th in the draft. And now on the ground for Vancouver, they give the ball to Mateo Privado for a gain of 2. Quick back to the line for Vancouver. Not much time in the huddle at all.
They don't want to give Sin City too much time to figure out where they're doing.
Toss play, left side. Oh, McBride shakes that one off. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. And while we have a moment, we'll mention that that tackle was made by Kanye Rockefeller, and we'll introduce you to this Sin City defense. The defensive ends, Gary Burney and Mike All. Defensive tackles, LL Volt and Rose Steele. The linebackers, Mark Gronick, Gary Clem, Kevin Brackett, the cornerbacks Evan Lacey, Zach Hamburger, Terrence Pearson, and Joshua Durr. And the safeties, we mentioned Rockefeller, as well as J.J. Bailey and Bo Martin Jr. 3rd and 8 coming up. Brown, the throw, plenty of time, going deep and just off the hands of Killian. 4th and 8, and they'll have to turn it over.
And even though Brett Killian's got 2 bodies near him on that play, I still think that that is a fine decision to make because Killian had enough separation for that back shoulder throw to work. And he's a Hall of Famer. He's well acquainted with what it takes to make the catches under that kind of coverage situation. Occasionally, though, the hits are just a little too hard to hang on to the ball.
Talk about a good punt. There's one by chance to win. The 8-season man. 7 of those he has spent right here in Vancouver. And as you can see, a pretty evenly matched first quarter and some change. Of course, first down gain. Look at Sin City here, 8 to Vancouver's 1.
It's one of those things to really think about, is just how effortless that one Vancouver score was and how so far Cincinnati's defense has the answers.
Oh! Pressure coming like a heat-seeking missile. Josh Farnsey with the sack.
Absolutely an unblocked menace. You cannot allow him a clear lane to the quarterback because he's more than happy to push that line of scrimmage back.
John, that is Farnsey's first sack of the season, and it comes at a good time. Patterson, pressure again, drops it short, rolls. As the catch is made, and not much there, but some positive yards for Dillapre. 3rd and 9 coming up.
I've got to say, so much credit needs to be given to the Vancouver defense right now for keeping Scar Patterson under pressure.
They really are rising to the challenge. 3rd in passing yards against. Just a great job overall of the defensive unit, and going back to work again. Incomplete. Patterson cannot connect, and it's 4th and 9.
And finally, Vancouver manages a clutch stop, and they manage it, more importantly, while Sin City is still well in their own territory. It's very important to not allow these extended drives to continue to manifest. Sin City, with their one opening drive, it was a ruthless, long, menacing beatdown that kind of put a chill in the back of your neck, but this is a little something different.
Grand kick is good. A deep one that is, down to the 30-yard line. So it was a good punt that time by Charles Franz, and he pins them back. Vancouver now will start from their 30-yard line.
Something to think about is that Vancouver's scoring drive is a one-play wonder. Sin City's 2 scoring drives are 14 plays and 10 plays.
Methodical, and it will drive you mad trying to stop it. Toss play, left side, Privado, running hard, and you got to love the grit that Mateo Privado brings to this backfield.
You have to, especially because you need just a little bit of extra, and you need a little bit of menace, and Privado is more than happy to provide that bruising figure at 250 pounds.
2nd and 6, they keep it on the ground. Oh, and a nice job of squirting through there was Ike McBride, because I thought that was going to be stopped for a loss. Instead, it turns into a pretty good game.
Ike doing such an incredible job getting skinny there. You wouldn't think someone 260 could actually fit in those tight windows, but she has the know-how.
3rd and 3 coming up here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Christian Brown to throw. Pressure coming. He unloads, and it is off the hands of the intended target. He was looking for Brett Killian and just couldn't reel that one in. He takes a shot at the end of it as well. 4th and 3.
And honestly, this is that one play right there, I have to say, is the redemption of Bo Martin Jr., because he is who got burned on a couple of these long completions where he's gambled for interceptions. He is the reason that Vancouver has 7 points in the first place, and right there he decided to play the receiver instead of the ball. Great job.
Nice punt by Chance to win. Tackled at the 28-yard line. Folks, another thing that, to mention here, this Vancouver weather is no joke. It is 34 degrees at kickoff time. And, of course, cold weather will play a factor in a lot of those things. But you imagine how hard that football feels coming at you, just how hard some of these quarterbacks like Christian Brown and Patterson have been throwing it to these wide receivers. It's like a brick.
The Samurai have to be so grateful that at least it's not snowing.
Yes, indeed. Patterson to throw and just off the mark. And talk about things like that. Weather conditions, they do play a factor. You said they're grateful that it's not snowing. Well, how about this? You can kind of tell, cold weather, it's a much different environment to play in.
It can really slow the nerves. It dulls the senses. It makes it hard for you to feel the grip that you have on the football.
And then the sting that some of those hits take, especially those quarterback sacks we've seen, as Dillapre gets a couple there. 3rd and 5 coming up, and feels like a big drive here, I think, for Sin City. They've been methodical, but kind of stalled out on the last couple of possessions.
Truly, if they can manage to score a touchdown, they get what exactly they're hoping for, which is a 2-score ball game.
Patterson throwing. There's that completion that they were looking for, and it is Bob Lung with the first down.
And this is such incredible timing by Scar Patterson, knowing what Bob Lung's route is and knowing where the corner is going to have to be turning his hips to try and backpedal. The safety was too high to actually help in denying the catch. Just an incredible opportunity exploited by Patterson.
And Blackman beat off the line there. Patterson, pressure coming, and gets rid of it. Perfect timing. Since the pressure, gets it to Dillapre for an 8-yard gain. And you know the reason I said that, Alex, about how important this drive was to Sin City? Well, like we said, Vancouver, we talked about it, undefeated coming in. Top offense, top defense. You want to, it just feels like with a team like this, keep your foot on the gas as long as you can. Okay, a quarterback keeper by Patterson, and it goes nowhere. Didn't fool the Vancouver defense for 1 second.
Didn't fool the defense, but had me fooled for sure. I was expecting a toss play to the outside or maybe a power option. This not a QB sneak.
Expect that on 2nd and 2, but that gives them an opportunity at 3rd and 2 here to line up. To throw traditional way, and they can't do it. Again, stuffing the line. Marquise Reed. He's not going to let Johnson go anywhere.
And it's honestly one of those moments where you just shake your head and go, you got a little too predictable. You know you did, because it's just as simple as short yardage means they're probably running. So we're going to stack this box and bet that they do. And that bet paid off not once, but twice.
Great defensive play by Vancouver's front. And the tackle made immediately on that punt return down to the 15-yard line. Hamburger, good coverage there. Reed actually had both tackles. He had the tackle on 3rd down, and then he had the tackle on the quarterback keeper by Patterson. So no fooling that guy.
Not at all. He's the 16-year veteran, the most seasoned player on this Legion defense. Yeah, no, you're going to have a hard time showing him something he ain't seen before.
Brown now to throw and able to fit that one in there. Now, Lili Nakai took a shot, but a good job of holding onto that football. 1st and 10, Vancouver.
Looked like he bounced off a brick wall there, just straight slammed into it. And that, oh my goodness, I'm just glad you're able to walk off on your own without some help there, buddy.
It's funny, we were just talking about the weather and just how hard those hits feel as well in this cold, dry air as it is. Nick Lockett in motion, and this has been a hard-hitting game, folks. I mean, this really has had everything we could want, and then some. Brown throwing incomplete, jarred loose, intended for Brett Killian. Good defense by the Samurai.
And the Samurai have clearly keyed into the fact that Vancouver, while having a talented backfield, are trying to move the ball down the field primarily through the air, saving the run for those short yardage situations and to try and punch things in at the goal line.
Empty set here. Brown to throw. It's tipped, almost intercepted. A little too high for Bo Martin to get his hands on that one. And it is incomplete. Coverage as well by Lacey downfield on the receiver.
But even though he can't actually snatch it out of the air, he still bats it and it interferes with where it's going. Turns what could have been a huge gain into a tip drill.
Empty set again for Vancouver on 3rd and 10. 3 receivers lined to the bottom of the screen here, throwing, and a good job of turning around to bring that one in. It's Brett Killian, and that right there is a lot of practice on the field during the week, practicing their chemistry.
Truly it is, and when you think about just how long these two have been playing together and how Brett Killian has been the face of this offense for so long, 16 years he's been the captain here, and he leads this offense.
3 receivers lined up right of Christian Brown. The throw, a little too early perhaps. It was looking in the direction of Nick Lockett there, but maybe just a step ahead of his man. Incomplete.
And sometimes those are tough balls to actually make because the receivers may or may not be getting pressed at the line. They may or may not get bumped off their route a little bit within that 5-yard cushion. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Vancouver again going empty set here. Pressure is coming, but he unloads complete to Lili Nakai, the tight end, coming up big in this 2nd quarter.
And the big opportunity here, and what's different between the last one and this one, is just how the defense sags off and it's zone coverage instead of man coverage. That's why we saw an overthrow because the receivers having to adjust their routes to compensate for a defender, standing right in front of them, like they're allowed to do.
One more play before the 2-minute warning. Brown throws a target. What a dart that he is able to somehow get in there for Sudduth, John Michael Sudduth.
I'm so sad that man's not my teammate. That man, whenever I heard that he was considering leaving the Louisiana Revolution, my heart was in my throat. And when he said, I'm going somewhere else, it crushed me a little bit. I'm so happy to see him in Vancouver.
And that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Like we said, folks, we got a good one here. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. You look at some stats for Christian Brown in this one today. Pretty good so far. Brown throwing another dart to the end zone. Who better to cap this drive off than Lily Nakai for the touchdown and the lead?
And she just finds herself in these open spaces time and time again, and it's an impossible target to miss at 6'6", 240. She looks like a tight end, but really she's a receiver. It's just her statuesque frame that makes her such an easy target in these situations. And now Vancouver showing they have more than just big playability. They have procedural surgical strikes, at least from an empty set.
And in Vancouver changing things up and going empty set that entire drive as chance to win, tacked on the extra point to give them a 4-point lead. But that changed the tempo, changed the complexion, and really put Sin City on their heels, if you will, when they went to that empty set.
This is a new football game after seeing that drive and the fact that Vancouver finally has their first lead of the game. Now Scar Patterson is going to be under the gun, as it were.
Loose. Now, I do believe that they were able to pick it up. Yeah, that's Williams who was able to pick that one up. Vancouver coming in big on special teams, jars it loose. And I believe, it was Carroll on the carry. Let's see who got there. Knocked it loose. Okay, I think that was 84 for Vancouver. That was Jeremy Porter.
Yeah. Special teams stepping up, but the ball doesn't bounce their way. Vancouver almost getting a chance to turn a one-score game into a potential two-score game. Sin City getting away with murder there.
Well, Sin City, talk about that luck in that city. They able to have a little bit on their side. Good carry by Johnson on first down, gain of 4. And so let's talk about this here, Alex. 1:35 left in this first half. How much do you want to push this if you're Sin City?
Well, you want to, run the football a little bit to work some time off the clock, but you also want to make sure that you set up the pass because that's how you're going to need to kill them here.
There's a nice carry by Lee, bringing it to 3rd and 2, and a timeout is called for.
And there's only 2 left. They're going to have to husband these wisely. Now that they've reached the point where they've called their first timeout, I expect them to shift to a full aerial attack here, but Vancouver, having seen a couple of runs, might just stack the box. Ooh, nope, not with that look.
Patterson to throw, pressure coming. He stands in there, and a good job of getting that to Talon Steele for the first down, and another timeout is called.
Talon Steele running a post route there, and the idea of that concept is trying to get him to the sideline, but he's not able to break that tackle, and Patterson delivers that ball when the window is still open, but unfortunately, he was still too far in bounds to be able to stop the clock. Timeout used again.
For Sin City, they would love, obviously, to get into the end zone, but if they could, they'd like to get that big leg of Charles Franz out there as well. We'll see what they can do. Patterson throwing it, it's complete out to the 30-yard line, over the top of all of those blue jerseys, and a first down and another timeout by the Samurai.
And now, from here, they have to use the hurry-up offense, but they've already gotten to the correct side of the field to really exploit that.
Inside the 30, marked at the 29. Patterson, the 30, hit, and you can't take a hit like that. And pressure coming. Down he goes. Michael Rury with the sack. Back to the line. Patterson throws, gets some of that yardage back to Dillapre. 3rd and 4, Alex.
And this is a critical 3rd and 4 here.
Patterson throwing it. A leaping, diving grab by Mark Lopez. And you know what? I got to get the replay, and I got to give that the nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23, a leaping INT that silenced a great drive by Sin City.
An unbelievable leaping, flying, soaring catch. Are we sure that Mark Lopez doesn't have superpowers? Because how did he get all the way out there with that full extension and pluck that from the air?
And with ease, literally Superman, the best way to describe it. Great job by Mark. And now one-handed grab by Lockett on a 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1, clock continuing to run.
What on earth is Vancouver doing here? I think they might be trying to just take it to the half without giving Sin City a chance to score back if they get a lucky turnover here, while still giving themselves a chance for a deep shot.
They'll keep it on the ground with bravado, and that's what you feel like here. Feels like we're headed to the lockers.
Feels like it. Feels especially like it when you see that they're asking the fullback to do a hard run to the left side. For a second, I was like, Bravado, Sharona? No, the other one.
And that brings us to halftime on a truly incredible first 2 quarters of action. Vancouver leading Sin City 14-10. Camera duty here with Alex West inside the SFL on YouTube. Halftime report on the Virtual Football Network. So much to talk about, Alex. Give me your thoughts on a wild first half.
And truly what impresses me the most is that Vancouver, despite having a little bit of a, shall we say, a more boom or bust game plan, they got the lead right now at the half. I would say that Scar Patterson's passing attack, or the Scar Patterson-led passing attack of Sin City, has been more productive, more incisive, but one incredible interception later, it suddenly derailed itself. It felt for sure like the Samurai had a chance to tie or had a chance to take the lead going into the half, but just a great job by the Legion defense.
We'll get right back to the action, but folks, let's take a quick halftime break presented by Brakes GPT, and we'll return to Vancouver.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Folks, we invite you to break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and so much more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at winning a huge headliner over at BrakesGPT.com. Nakai with the carry out to the 29-yard line here, where Vancouver will set up shop. And now, we talked about what an important drive this is here, Alex, for Vancouver starting off.
And really it's the opportunity to really put their foot on the gas, to pull away from Sin City here. And you can't say that you're going to be a dominant team, especially a playoff contender that wants to go on deep runs, if you cannot stretch these leads, if you cannot take control of a football game.
Well, how about this stat right here? Rushing yards, 18 for Vancouver that first half. They come in with the lead of rushing touchdowns in the series as Brown here, gain of 4, 2nd down.
And I tell you, it's just like UPS. UPS doesn't move every single package on the trucks all the way around the globe. They got big old planes. They take it through the air again and again, and then the trucks get it whenever it gets real close.
That's impressive. Reminds me I have a package to do. They check my front door after this one. There's Mick Brown. Oh, look at that little dive, that little hurdle underneath there, keeping that drive alive, and a first down for Vancouver.
And what incredible vision by Ike here to see where the blocks are, where the pressure's coming from. She veers to the outside, swerves back into swerves back in, and then just whenever the window in front of her closes, cuts back outside so she can put her lead shoulder into the tackler and get a couple of extra yards. What a savvy veteran run.
Everybody out there saying, if I could be like Ike. Great job by McBride on that carry. 1st and 10. Moving out close to midfield is this Vancouver Legion. And now we see Bravado rumbling towards the sidelines, and an 8-yard gain left out there untouched till he was pushed out of bounds.
Did he go running around in a skunk field? Did he eat a whole bunch of garlic before the game? Because let me tell you, he had a force field out there. What was happening?
Nobody wanted to even think about it. Running into the big man. Mateo, again, look at that. And here comes that rush attack, folks. Let's go quickly to SFL headquarters where Cameron Irvine is standing by. Cam, what you got?
Thank you, Cam. A one-score game in the South. What else is new? Fort Worth and Houston. Eric Price finds Henry McGee. Fort Worth was up 17-3, but now it's 17-9 in the third. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Got a good one over there. We got a good one here. McBride takes a shot. Coming in and leaving the ground to launch towards her was Bo Martin Jr. for the stop and a loss.
Big Bad Bo is one of the largest safeties in the league. He's 6'4", he's 245. He can play linebacker if he felt like it, but the former Scorpion makes sure the Legionnaires are going to feel his sting.
Bo Martin literally looked like he was on a trampoline there. Just springing forth to make that tackle. Great stuff. 2 receivers on either side of Brown. Throwing deep, incomplete. This Sin City defense, now they're getting a challenge. Vancouver has not been shy of throwing deep on them this entire game, but for the most part, doing a pretty good job.
And honestly, it's one of those things that you feel the tension in the air, but it feels like they are very capable of getting any 3rd and whatever, as long as it's not 3rd and 50.
Back again to the air they go. Brown, plenty of time all day to find someone, and he finds the Sin City defense. It's intercepted, and it's coming back the other way by J.J. Bailey. Oh, what a misstep.
A former Storm in there to fly in and snatch that one from the sky. A few too many gambles for Christian Brown, who is typically very safe with the football, but this game plan tonight with so many deep routes finally bites him in a critical moment where Sin City was really needing a stop, but seemed like they were back on their heels.
That is the 4th career interception for J.J. Bailey, 1st of the season, and it comes in a big game in a big way here. 7:27 remaining in this 3rd quarter, and Sin City with a chance here, and Johnson with the carry gets out to the 20-yard line, a gain of 4. And just how huge is that? Because Vancouver looked like they were getting things going again here with a good mix of run and pass, and then this defense clamps down.
Well, what's really weird about it, and if you think about it in the big term, is that both of these teams have limited the turnovers so far this season, coming in this game, numbers 2 and 3.
A leaping run by Bill Cherry, who gets a couple, and a big 3rd and 3 coming up here for Sin City.
Let me talk about those turnovers for a second.
Sure.
Sin City had only allowed 3 coming into this. Vancouver had allowed 4.
All
But
right.
they'd both gotten 7 takeaways for Sin City, 13 for Vancouver.
Pressure coming from the backside. Patterson stands in there and throws one to Dillapre. And I tell you what, that's just impressive. You know that Patterson had to feel the footsteps coming up behind him.
And what I love so much about this play call especially is that Sin City's operating out of the I formation. It's 3rd and 3. You're broadcasting, I'm going to run this football. But instead, no, it's a pass and a deep one going to Dillapre in the slot that actually moves the chains with not a small gain either.
Running left side is Robert Johnson, who gets a gain of 4, a good carry here on 1st down for Rojo.
Now it's a matter of exactly how is Sin City going to try and extend this drive. Do they want to do a couple of runs and then a pass and then 3rd down? Is that the strategy?
We'll find out. 2nd and 6 coming up here, back to the air. Got time to find Dillapre over the middle. Oh, gets kind of tripped up there by the ref. Had a little bit of room to run. Gets the 1st down, but had to dodge a ref and a couple of Vancouver defenders.
I know we're not in a wildlife enclosure, so someone get that zebra off the field, would you? Come on now. Whew. The double century mark for Scar Patterson. Only 7 incompletions. An unbelievable day so far.
Yeah, great job by Patterson. The carry going by Robert Johnson again here before being tackled by Marquise Reed. Not the first time we've called his name tonight.
No, and it won't be the last either. He is an absolutely furious force on that front 7 for this squad, and he will be where the football is moving.
Under 5 minutes to go in the third frame here. Oh, look at that spin move, and then the lead by Robert Johnson. Spins out of bounds, but not before a big gain across the 30 there.
The spin cycle puts all the Legionnaires in the wrong feet. It took them out of their shoes, but it's really just incredible blocking by the wide receivers there that actually open up the lanes, and Talon Steele also setting that inside block against the linebacker to really hold that edge.
1st and 10. They actually mark him out at the 31-yard line. Boy, what more could you want on Friday Night Football here on the SFL? Oh, and Lee with a good carry. And I tell you, had to fight hard for all that yardage to get 6 there. That was no easy task.
It was looking like maybe he was going to push one down until the second helper arrived. Logan is making sure that he's not being overlooked in that backfield either.
2 receivers to the top side for Scar Patterson. 1 man in the backfield. Oh, and then we got movement. Bob Lung moves over and lines up on the line on the right side of Patterson. Back to the ground game with Johnson. Rolled over and going to get close to the first down. So 3rd and 1 here.
But what a 3rd and 1 to be able to make a decision on. It seems like an obvious run, but do they do another Scar Patterson keeper? Do they hand it off to the fullback? Do they do a toss play, a power drive? Too many options. Just stack the box and pray.
That's what Vancouver's going to do. They stack the box. Are they going to be able to stop them? They are. Again, that's not the first time we've seen them come up with something big here. Achilles Papatonis with a huge tackle for very minimal yardage here.
Linking their arms, standing strong in the shield wall is the Legion. What a stop, and now big moment for France to make it a 1-point game.
Oh, a 38-yard attempt is good. And like you said, gets it within 1 here. Take a look at the field goal again. A nice job. Good snap and hold that time. And for a rookie, or let me just speak from experience here. From a rookie kicker, there's a lot of sweat beads on the forehead when you come out there.
I don't know about if he feels quite the same way, though, to be honest. 12 of 12 now with that second field goal on the day on the season. With a 50-yarder, I can imagine a little bit of nervousness, but he seems to have ice in his veins out there. Maybe it's the cold weather.
It's got to be helping for sure. Able to put his nerves aside there, and a great job. Lockett with a good return here, breaking tackles out to the 28. Felt like he run for about 40 yards just to get to the 28. But a good fight by Lockett. 3:05 remaining in this third.
And honestly, making it look effortless out there with how far he returned it, shucking off a defender, trying to gun him down, as it were. I'm going to tell you, that's the kind of stuff that if you break one and can make a second man miss, you can find yourself in the end zone on these returns quickly. Ask me how I know.
You may have a little experience, a thing or two to know about that there, Alex.
I've watched a man do it so many times. Number 18, Mr. Manning.
Man in motion here. That's Brett Killian. Vancouver now. Oh, that was almost a tackle for loss. Instead, Bravado gets a couple, but that was almost disaster in the backfield.
This is one of those where you go calm, panic, wait, how did we get a 3-yard gain? That was almost an intercepted toss play. The blitz was coming from the strong side. The toss was going to the strong side.
2nd and 7 here. Christian Brown to throw. Oh, that was close. Killian couldn't keep hands on it. And, of course, Kanye Rockefeller had something to say about that, jarring that one loose. It's 3rd and 7.
Absolutely had something to say, and let me tell you, it wasn't polite words, like it wasn't, or an invitation to
No
afternoon tea.
pleasantries. Like you said, no pleasantries at all. 3rd and 7 coming up here. Christian Brown, pressure in his face, but he delivers, and look, there's Lily Nakai again. I make a play for player of the game, if you want my honest opinion.
And I couldn't even say that you're entirely wrong here, because yes, Christian Brown does have a touchdown to someone that's not, Lely. Yes, Nick Lockett has a whole bunch of yards to his name, but that's off one 55-yard gainer. Lely has been clutch on pass after pass after pass.
And right there, you see Brown taking advantage of the middle of the field here on this Sin City Samurai team. Vancouver, one of their toughest challenges yet to date in this season. Brown all day to throw it. Oh, what a collision down there between Lockett and about 3 Sin City defenders, including Rockefeller.
And what I cannot understand is exactly how on earth Sin City has managed to so thoroughly shut down Brett Killian on play after play, to where the only option is to try and hit Nick Lockett, but now he's getting targeted too.
Again, in motion goes Brett Killian here. Lined up left side of Christian Brown, who's going to scramble, takes off and runs. Going to get the first down and a fumble. Oh my goodness. And this is huge. Clem comes up with the recovery, and this could change the tide here. What happened, Alex?
Oh, it's too much aggression from Christian Brown. A whole lot of frustration with how many times he's been chucking the ball down the field deep with what the play calls have been. His receivers have been getting hit time and time again with nary a PI flag in sight. So he decides to do it himself, but rather than slide after he gets enough yards, he gambles for more, and he goes bust.
You're sitting there and you're watching that, and you're just thinking, what is happening? Get down, slide. And the worst happens here for Vancouver now for Sin City. And Robert Johnson turning sideways, gets through a hole, still on his feet across the 30.
The Samurai are poised to strike back and take big advantage of the obvious mistakes that have been made by the Legion in these critical moments. The game balances on a sword's edge, a katana's edge. It could go either way, but at this moment, Vancouver finds themselves on the sharp edge.
And you talk about a momentum swing, a shift of epic proportions now for Sin City to take advantage of that. Carry, and that is Lee in on that one and stopped dead at the line by Marquise Reed once more. And boy, for this Vancouver defense, what does this do to them here? Puts them certainly in a bind, needing to try to fend off this surging Sin City offense.
Not only that, they're already within the range of Charles Franz's legs, so you've got to force a turnover or get a big sack here on Scar Patterson.
We'll see what Patterson does here with it. Oh, we see motion. It's Talon still. Play clock down to 5. Patterson to throw short. Really conservative there. Tried to drop it off to Johnson and not much. By the way, for those who were asking, that forced fumble, Gary Clem on that one, as well as the recovery.
Doing it all on that one. Jarring it loose and scooping it up. Holy moly.
3rd and 10, half a minute left in this third quarter. Scar Patterson to throw, and it's right on target to Israel Adams, who we heard quite a bit in that first quarter and has since been silent until that point.
It's one of those things where for a whole entire quarter, Al Dillapre Sr. had basically taken over the air attack with Scar Patterson, but that does not mean that the other options have gone anywhere. And you know what? We've only seen one target looking to Shea Carroll. I know that number is still going to come up here at some point before the night is over.
Lining up here, Patterson throwing. Oh, bad. It's scary there how long that one stayed in the air. A good defensive play by Papatonis.
And Papatonis making his presence felt.
We're on our way to quarter number 4. Get your 4s up in the chat, folks. Vancouver leads by 1 for the moment. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty here with Alex West, and it is a pleasure to be with you tonight. Ike McBride and Jacob Clear in the stats truck, and Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. What a treat we have been given this evening. Sin City marching down the field, trying to take advantage of that turnover. Johnson, not much there. This Vancouver defense locking down. Reed with the stop.
And this is the whole difficult part of why it gets so easy to defend in these short yardage situations. In these tight windows, it becomes obvious what the offense wants or needs to do.
As you can see, third down efficiency here. Vancouver 2 of 6, 8 of 14. Seems like Sin City's been working at that, and somehow Israel Adams hangs on to it for the touchdown.
And the Samurai are unstoppable on third down as they trample forward yet again for a tight throw. This is such a window to try and fit it in. That's small. That's trying to fit a football in a thermos, I tell you. How on earth did Scar Patterson see that one?
Yeah, I thought that was going to be an interception. Instead, Israel Adams with the huge catch. And now Charles Franz on to attempt the extra point. It's right down the middle. Good. And folks, Sin City to start this fourth quarter has taken the lead over the undefeated 4-0 Vancouver Legion, trying to hand them their first loss. And as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Alex, if Sin City can win, that will be their fourth straight victory in this series.
And
We've got a long way to go.
And that's not even the terms that they're thinking in right now. They're just thinking in terms of trying to get back to 3-3. This has not been the start to the season that they would want. They've got some incredibly tough losses that they've got on their record, but it's also against teams that are all flying high so far. The Adams are at 4-1. The Storm are 4-1. The Trident are currently 4-0. We'll see how that holds up this weekend, but you know, that's some tough teams that they've lost to. Their strength of victory, or their strength of defeat, is a mind-boggling 857.
Pump fake. Christian Brown steps up, throws one-handed grab by Nakai, who bails him out there. They're going to say turning back there made her just short of the first, so it's 2nd and 10 coming up.
Come on now, Lee. Just fall to the ground. Don't try and wheel around like that. We all know that your shoulders are just too big to pivot on a dime like that. Maybe you need to go to the same ballet class.
2nd and inches as Bravado bulldozes forward. Not even going to give Evan Lacey a chance to be on the offensive there and make the tackle. He's along for the ride.
That's just pure menace is this Legion backfield. 250, 260, 260. Each and every one of them is going to feel like you're trying to tackle a bulldozer.
8:38 remaining in this game, and another carry by McBride there. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up. Now, you know, you mentioned those losses by Sin City. Yeah, let's talk about the scores. Washington 4-0, they lost 22-9. Florida Storm, they lost 17-13. And Albuquerque 44-24. So most of those been really tightly contested. Not been easy going, but boy, playing a great game tonight. And Christian Brown just threw that one way too far. It looked as if he may have had Sudduth deep downfield, but too much mustard on that one, as you said earlier, Alex.
And he was looking for Sudduth, but even though John Michael Sudduth, for as incredible an athlete he is, and tall as he is at 6'7", he's just not able to run downfield in the full sprint and then jump like he's trying to qualify for the Olympics high bar.
Empty set again for Vancouver as Brown throws out of it, and there we go, a little more like normal as Brett Killian turning around to get that reception to keep the drive alive. Very important here.
At last, Brett Killian finally gets his, this is so bizarre to me, his second catch of the game. He's been targeted 8 times total tonight, but there have been so many Samurai swarming around him. He has not had any window to try and operate in where he hasn't been double covered or having a safety on his hip pocket. So to see him finally get a moment here is huge for them.
Christian Brown. Pressure is picked up. A good job, and really just nobody at home there. Kind of threw that one away. Let's go to Cameron Irvine for an SFL game update. Here you go, Cam. What you got?
Thank you, Cam. I got a lot here. 3rd down and goal. John Lakeman hit as he threw, and it's picked off by Adam Leach. but in the last 8 minutes, Houston has scored a touchdown, and then Fort Worth has recovered an onside kick for a score. 31-15 Toros with 3:40 left. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Appreciate those updates all throughout this game. For Vancouver here, screen pass, Bravado. Oh, nice stiff arm stays up, gets some more important yards, and that's going to make it a lot more manageable here on this 3rd and 2. Good heads-up play.
I tell you what I love about how the Legion have constructed their offense and how they've used those 3 backs is they've got Ike McBride as the lightning part of a thunder and lightning combo. Mateo Bravado is not a fullback. He's listed as one, but he's a power back through and through.
Oh, nice job there by McBride. Knowing, great awareness by her to just know where to need to get on the field for the first.
Again, she's got those kinds of skills. Even though she's a scat back at 260 pounds, the simple truth is that with Pseudo Nakai at 5'7", 260, clearing the way in those I formations, it makes it easy for either of those two to find holes.
An empty set here, just across the middle. A nice pickup. Brett Killian coming on here in the moments of this game, 5-yard gain.
Both rush and pass, keeping the defense off balance. Finally, a more complete approach from Vancouver, and they are being rewarded by getting down the field.
Empty set again. This is not the first time we've seen this evening. Christian Brown, plenty of time. Interception! Oh my goodness, a one-handed grab out of nowhere by Gary Clem, and his second big turnover of the day.
Live by the sword and die by the sword. Just a few too many gambles tonight for Christian Brown, who has not had this kind of night so far this season, but the Samurai have had plenty of game tape to eat to understand what windows he's looking through, where he's trying to throw the football, and the defense is clearly on their game. On play right side for Rojo, gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. It's a disastrous first play if you're trying to actually take advantage of an incredible turnover here, because even though Sin City has the football, they're operating from the 10. Stand by, folks, while we wait for Mr. Duty. His mic has come unplugged. We've got an audio tech guy working on it right now. Another run to the right side. This time it's Logan Lee. He puts his shoulder down. Hold his way forward for about 4.
3rd and 6 coming up.
There we go.
Oh, you talked about them all night there, Alex. I mean, bad that it had to hit right there in that moment's notice, huh? No, 3rd and 6 coming up. Thank you for filling in there, my friend, as you got that worked out. Pass incomplete. Russell on the coverage there. And I tell you what, this is just Vancouver's defense. What more can you really say? That was a huge stop. They knew that their offense needed it in the worst way.
Absolutely critical here. You cannot allow Sin City to move the football in any way, shape, form, or fashion, because Carlos Franz has the leg of legs right now. He can do it all, whether it's from punter or kicker.
And Nakai able to bring this one back out about midfield. So Vancouver here down 6 points, going to have a really good starting spot here for field position. And there's a good example of just how close this game has been, folks.
It really has been razor's edge close, but really I just need to see Vancouver stop calling that empty set, please.
Just too aggressive when they get down to that side of the field. And Bravado with a nice attempt at it there. Thought he was going to be able to break free before Clem come up and made a stop. And you know, that's what I love, honestly, Alex, about these ball games and the way that the things play out. So many of these stars just emerge as the game goes on. One quarter, you know, we're hearing about Bo Martin. The next, it's Gary Clem. I mean, who's going to rise up next?
It could be anyone. That's the reason why we watch the games and why this community is so special. Every game is so special because every game tells a story.
Toss play, right side, McBride able to avoid the loss. And that was big. Could not take a loss there. 3rd and 7 coming up. Literally, in some ways, this feels like it could almost be the ball game if they can't convert here.
Well, I would say there's one more opportunity if their defense can force a 3 and out, but
Empty set.
Barring that, it gets thin. The empty set is here, but I understand it on 3rd and 7.
Christian Brown stepping up, throwing, almost intercepted. And got batted away. Again, guess who?
Gary Clem, the linebacker, man of the hour, the former Revolution player, doing such an incredible job for the Samurai tonight. You absolutely understand why he was highly pursued, and Sin City's glad to have him.
You're exactly right. Chance to win with a punt, hoping that once again this offense will be able to see the field if their defense can make another big stop. This is a good punt. Oh, you can't ask for one better than that. Look at that young man, proud of that coffin kick, and he made that as tough as you possibly could on Sin City.
That's the best bounce I've seen all season. Wow. That could have gone any which ways, but it could have died. It could have gone plinking into the end zone instead. Now, the shadow of their own end zone for Samurais.
Vancouver's defense needing a stop here. Johnson, good job of getting out for a couple positive yards, but that is Farnsey able to come up after a 1-yard gain.
The Legion once again having an opportunity to stuff Sin City deep in their own territory. This is just last drive all over again. Will we see the same result?
Johnson again, able to take a tackle, gets a first down out past the 15-yard line, and that's big right there. Johnson with a good carry.
In the most critical of moments, it's a one-on-one play in the open field and a tackle that we've seen that be made by Farnsey several times before. In fact, on the very last play, but Farnsey this time maybe just a little bit too gassed from how much work he's been having to put in that inside linebacker position so far tonight.
Clock continuing to run here. Logan Lee up the middle, gain of 2. Folks, we want to remind you quickly, coming up, we want to ask you, of course, to smash that like button if you haven't already, but also coming up on the Virtual Football Network, it's SFL action through Monday. Then it's the UFL's inaugural season, which starts Wednesday and continues Thursday, as well as SFLM action, Mr. West, live on Thursday. Also, it's all right here on the Virtual Football Network, as you see the schedule at the bottom of your screen, and a huge first down picked up by Israel Adams there, Alex.
And this is one of those that you can't be allowing if you're the Legion trying to make a comeback here. Sin City doing an incredible job here to put this game on ice away as the temperatures dip below freezing.
Sin City with the biggest victory of the season, potentially 2 minutes and 36 seconds away. We'll get them back to 3-3. Huge in their divisional race as well. Toss play right side here to Johnson, breaking a tackle. Gain of 5. And you can just sense it in these backs right here, Alex, that they know every yard matters right now. Just trying to extend the drive and move those chains.
Because the clock is your friend if you're the Samurai. You just want to get everything out as soon as you can. And with the play clock being so far ahead of the game clock, they're about to get the last free timeout out of this game.
Going down to the 2-minute warning. Will we see the ball snapped here? We will not. So, Sin City will take a moment to pause, think this next play over. Folks, this is going to be a good one. We thank you for being with us on the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Cameron Duty here with Alex West, Ike McBride, and Jacob Clear in the stats truck, and Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. Brace yourselves. This is going to be a good finish here, folks. Sin City trying to do all that they can to stop this Vancouver offense from taking the field. A timeout is called here, Alex.
And this is what we call the last gasp. There's only one chance for Vancouver to really get any hope, keep hope alive, and this is the moment.
The handoff again here, just trying to be safe and still get some yards as Bill Cherry gets a carry. Another timeout called, trying to save as much time as possible for Vancouver.
Well, they were going to send out friends to punt it away. And since we've got a moment, Cameron, I'm actually going to correct you for something. Not that you may have noticed, because the schedule is finally off Thursday for the SFLM next week. That's right, the SFLM is not going to be on Thursday night.
Okay.
Next week, because of the UFL, I have as commissioner decided to move it to Tuesday.
Tuesday night football, fantastic. Okay, so you heard that here, an executive decision made by SFLM Commissioner Alex West to move those games to Tuesday. So update that on your calendar. As Nakai here with this ever important punt return. A long way to go, but boy, this has some shades of football greatness, right?
Truly it does, and there's a window of opportunity here, and if you can exploit it in the final moments. It's a 2-minute drill with a little less time on the clock and no timeouts. Do or die.
Empty set here from Vancouver. Minute 43 to go. Down the field. It's deflected and incomplete. And he was looking the way of Ezekiel Bear for what I believe is the first attempt tonight.
And that's understandable why they haven't looked to the rookie for too many clutch moments, because really this Sin City secondary has been positively smothering. There haven't been too many opportunities to look the way of the young man.
3 receivers of the ball, every screen, empty set, 2 up top. They're blocking enabled as well. There's Brett Killian, close to midfield. Got to keep this thing moving, 1st and 10.
And they will elect to not do the hurry up here, though, critically, because they don't want to exhaust everyone and gas everyone up at this critical moment, because that leads to fumbles, that leads to bad plays, but also you can't give Sin City a chance to score with 3 timeouts. You just can't do it. So it's a tightrope to walk.
You feel the tension inside the Canada field here. The home team trying to come back from behind. Whoa, that had a bead on it there, as it looked for a minute like Terrence Pearson was going to step in front of that one for the INT, but it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Had the opportunity, decided to maintain step for step with the receiver and just put his body in front of the ball. That's the correct decision there, in my opinion. Yes, you could seal the game, but also you could let Vancouver back into the game. Just play solid defense.
2nd and 10, a minute 11 to go. The throw complete to Sudduth. Gain of 8, and we see a timeout called here.
Finally, Sin City being aware of some potential dangers here should Vancouver actually manage to score, because they are only up by 6. A touchdown from Vancouver puts them ahead 1. They have to operate cautiously.
And what a heroic play that would be for Christian Brown. 2 costly INTs in this game if he can bring his team back here. Another completion. Now, under a minute to go, we start to see the hurry up in the empty set. 3 receivers line to the bottom, 2 to the top. Christian Brown to throw. Good time at the back there to throw, and he finds his man Ezekiel Bear for the first time, his first reception of the day.
Rookie finally getting involved. You love seeing that opportunity. He was a 2nd-round pick, one of the last players picked in this draft, but he has his moments.
1st and 10, 33 seconds and counting now, under half a minute. They keep it on the ground that time, the bravado, and you know they want to preserve clock and be the only one left. That's right. Here we go, under 20 seconds. Oh, they keep it. They throw it. Brown, incomplete. Good coverage by Sin City that time, and clock stops at 16 seconds. 3rd and 8, Alex.
With that being the final outcome, I'm fine with the fact they chose not to spike it, because honestly, every down is precious. Yes, the clock is against you, but also you need to make sure that you get the 1st down so you have more shots at the end zone.
Christian Brown again to throw. Empty set once more. Good job of the offensive line. Picking it up, Ezekiel Bear to the 10 and under 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They spike it. Holy Toledo, we've got 1 play to go.
It all comes down to this, football fans. You do not need the back of your seat. Get your trays in the upright position. Get your eyes on this screen. You cannot be in audio only mode right now, folks.
The crowd comes to its feet. 3 receivers to the top side, 2 to the bottom. For the win, the marbles, and the undefeated season to continue. Brown, short of the end zone. He is stopped. Lili Nakai The clock hits 0. Vancouver falls for the first time this season, and Sin City Samurai take the victory 20-14. Alex West, what are your thoughts?
I told you when we were first getting into the booth today, Cam, that this was not a case of Sin City being a 2-3 losing team that was just going to roll over and die. They were more, so much more than their record would insinuate. They are a team that can beat the best. They've played the best. They've lost to some of the best, and they've beaten now one of the league's front runners, and in what I would call not decisive fashion, but in emphatic fashion. It was a close, contested contest the whole way. Neither team was able to really run away with it, so it's resiliency galore.
Folks, the SFL rolls on tomorrow, headlined by Carolina's tribute to Ibari Alman Eaglin, who tragically passed away last week as they face Florida at 6:30 Eastern. You'll also see Queen City, Baltimore, DC in Atlanta, and Pittsburgh at Lexington on the Virtual Football Network. Folks, for Cameron Irvine, Ike McBride, Jacob Clear, and my partner and buddy Alex West, my name is Cameron Duty. Thank you for being a part of this. We hope you've enjoyed every minute. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.